Bamdeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sapadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Om Ajnanatimirandasya Ginanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Gaurva Vista Supurakam Guruganaira Shisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanipunam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Bidham Ujvalam Bharatanum Bhaktyambitam Sundaram Vande Vishvagurum Cha Divya Bhagavata Premno Hi Vijapadam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Badanam Palarka Chilanchitam Sandrananda Puram Saryakavarnam Vairagya Bidhyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nitim Subhakti Lashitam Sarasvata Nambaram Vandetam Shubhadam Marika Sharanam Nyashishvaram Shitaram Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Bidito Gaudiya Gurvam Baye Bhatto Banuriva Pravata Kakane Yogaura Sankirtanahi Maya Badati Mingilo Daragata Nuditya Jivani Man Krishna Prema Sudaddigahana Sukam Pradat Prabhum Tambaje Namo Gaura Kishoraya Bhaktavaduta Murtaye Gaurangri Padma Vringaya Radha Bhavani Shevine Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Svarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudanithim Gaura Vraja Shrita Sheshai Vaishnavair Vandya Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Bande Primabdim Viddha Vaishnavam Vamcha Kalpataruvyaschа Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Pamchatat Makam Krishna Bhaktarupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Maharaja Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dibise Namaha Jayatam Surataupam Gaur Mama Mandamatergati Mat Sarvasva Parambojao Radha Madana Mohana Divyat Brindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Shrimad Radnagara Simhasanestau Shri Gandharva Shila Govinda Devao Prestali Vihi Sevyamanau Shmarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vam Shivata Tatastitaha Kasham Venusvanai Gopir Gopinataha Shri Yestunaha Vrindaya Tulasi Devya Preyaya Kesavasyacha Krishna Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namah Atadat Mantra Gurum Bhagavathartadan Vyashan Jagat Gurun Nadva Tato Jaya Mudirayet Jaya Saparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Parapadmanam Jayastu Jaya Saparikara Shishi Guru Gor Chandra Girashu Parapadmanam Jayastu Sakala Vaishnava Parimora Namaskara Ite Kichwa Parada Nahuka Amara Oya Cheno Ivem Prabhu Jato Bhakta Jan Bandana Kori Ami Sabara Charana. I respectfully bow down to the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas, praying that there is no offense in my attempt to please them. To all Vaishnavas who have been, and all Vaishnavas who shall be, I offer my obeisances to their lotus feet. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dandavat Pranam, dear devotees. Welcome to a new opportunity to serve, a new opportunity to be responsible. Today we're going to continue reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta, Adi Lila, Volume 1. While Srila Kadid is gone, she went to Thailand, we're going to try and continue the morning readings in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta, Adi Lila, Volume 1, Ki Jai, Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj, Ki Jai, Jai Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Yesterday, we spent the entire time, the first half of an hour, reading the purport given by Srila Prabhupada on text 91. And what is text 91? We're gonna read it again. Dharmaha projita kaitavo traparamo nirmat saranam satam Vedyambastavam atravastu shivadam tapatrayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kirte Kimba Parai Ishvaraha Sadyohiddi Abarudyat Tetra Kirti Bi Shushrushubis Tatsanat. The greatest scripture Srimad Bhagavatam, compiled by Mahamuni Vyasadeva from 4 original verses, describes the most elevated and kind-hearted devotees and completely rejects the cheating ways of materially motivated religiosity. It propounds the highest principle of eternal religion, which can factually mitigate the threefold miseries of a living being and award the highest benediction of full prosperity and knowledge. Those willing to hear the message of this scripture in a submissive attitude of service can at once capture the Supreme Lord in their hearts. Therefore, there is no need for any scripture other than Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday we spent the first half an hour of the class reading the purport given by Srila Prabhupada on this wonderful verse. And let's make a quick recap. Essentially, Srila Prabhupada was stating that the Srimad Bhagavatam is representing the actual religion of the heart that every jiva has, every conscious being. In the other hand, there are different forms of imperfect religiosity, and it can be considered in the 3 different divisions. The path of fruitive work, or the division of fruitive work, the division of knowledge and mystic powers, and the division of worship. So the first one, the division of fruitive work, is also called karma kanda. And Srila Prabhupada says that by pious, fruitive work, one is placed in a position where he can temporarily feel material happiness, whereas vicious activities lead him to a distressful position of material want and scarcity. However, if one is put into the most perfect situation of material happiness, he cannot in that way become free from the pangs of birth, death, old age, and disease. A materially happy person is therefore in need of the eternal relief that mundane religiosity in terms of fruitive work can never award. Basically, a more sophisticated way of desiring to please your own senses. And then, when we move to the next division of religion, the three divisions, is the path of the culture of knowledge, Jnana Marga, and of mystic powers, Yoga Marga. And Srila Prabhupada is saying that they're equally hazardous, equally dangerous. Mental speculation, a lot of mental speculation. Srila Prabhupada is saying about this path. His attachment to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord makes him unfit to rise to that transcendental stage of Vasudeva understanding. And therefore, because of his unclean state of mind, he glides down again into material existence, even after having ascended to the highest stage of liberation. This fall down takes place due to his want of a locus standi in the service of the Supreme Lord. And then at last, and Srila Prabhupada describes that this last division of religion is the most dangerous of the previous two. And this is the path of worship of the innumerable devas or administrative demigods. More hazardous and uncertain than the above mentioned processes of karma kanda, fruitive work, and jnana kanda. This system of worship in many gods, such as Durga, Shiva, Ganesha, Surya, and impersonal Vishnu form, is accepted by persons who have been blinded by an intense desire for sense gratification. So that was the essence of the purport given by Srila Prabhupada on this text 92 that states that there is no any need for any other scripture than Srimad Bhagavatam, the religion of the heart. The others are religion of the mind. They are religion of the senses. I'm going to read the last paragraph to remember how Srila Prabhupada concluded this purport. The real form of religion is a spontaneous loving service to Godhead. This relationship of the living being with the absolute personality of Godhead is in service. In service is eternal. The personality of Godhead is described as Vastu, or the substance, and the living entities are described as Vaishnavas, or the innumerable samples of the substance in relative existence. The relationship of these substantive portions with the Supreme Substance can never be annihilated, for it is an eternal quality inherent in the living being. By contact with material nature, the living entities exhibit varied symptoms of the disease of material consciousness. To cure this material disease is the supreme object of human life. The process that treats this disease is called Bhagavata Dharma or Sanatana Dharma, real religion. Real religion is a cure to this material disease. This is described in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone, because of his background of pious activities in previous lives, is anxious to hear Srimad Bhagavatam immediately realizes the presence of the Supreme Lord within his heart and fulfills the mission of his life. So now we're going to start reading text 92. Tara madhya moksha bancha kaitava pradana yahahaite Krishna bhakti haya antardana. The foremost process of cheating is to desire to achieve liberation by merging into the Supreme. For this causes the permanent disappearance of loving service to Krishna. Purport. The desire to merge into the impersonal Brahman is the subtlest type of atheism. As soon as such atheism, disguised in the dress of liberation, is encouraged, one becomes completely unable to traverse the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 93. Prashavedana mokshabi sandir api nirastaha iti. The prefix Pra, in the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, indicates that the desire for liberation is completely rejected. Purport. This is an annotation by Sridhara Swami, the great commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 94. Krishna Bhaktira Baddhaka Yata Shubha Shubha Karma Sehaika Jivara Ajnanatam Dharma. Translation. All kinds of activities, both auspicious and inauspicious, that are detrimental to the discharge of transcendental loving service to Lord Sri Krishna, are actions of the darkness of ignorance. Purport given by Srila Prabhupada. The poetical comparison of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda to the sun and moon is very significant. The living entities are spiritual sparks, and their constitutional position is to render devotional service to the Supreme Lord in full Krishna consciousness. So-called pious activities and other ritualistic performances, pious or impious, as well as the desire to escape from material existence, are all considered to be coverings of these spiritual sparks. The living entities must get free from these superfluous coverings and fully engage in Krishna consciousness. The purpose of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda is to dispel the darkness of the soul. Before their appearance, all the superfluous activities of the living entities were covering Krishna consciousness. But after the appearance of these two brothers, people's hearts are becoming cleansed, and they are again becoming situated in the real position of Krishna consciousness. Text 95. Janhara prasade eita mohaya nasha, tamonasha kari kari tadbera prakasha. Translation. By the grace of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, this darkness of ignorance is removed and the truth is brought to light. Text 96. Tadvabhashtu Krishna Krishna Bhakti Prema Rupa Nama Sankirtana Sava Ananda Svarupa. The absolute truth is Sri Krishna, and love in devotion to Sri Krishna exhibited in pure love is achieved through congregational chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all bliss. The absolute truth is Sri Krishna, and love in devotion to Sri Krishna, exhibited in pure love, is achieved through congregational chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all bliss. Text 97. Surya Chandra Bahirera Tama Se Vinashe Bahir Vastu Gata Pata Adi Se Prakashe. The sun and moon dissipate the darkness of the external world and thus reveal external material objects like pots and plates. Text 98. Doi Bhai Hirdayera Kshali Andakara Doi Bhagavata Sange Karana Sakshatakara. But these two brothers, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, dissipate the darkness of the inner core of the heart, and thus they help one meet the two kinds of Bhagavatas, persons or things in relationship with the personality of Godhead. Text 99. Eka Bhagavata Bada Bhagavata Shastra Ara Bhagavata Bhakta Bhakti Rasa Patra. One of the Bhagavatas is the great scripture Srimad Bhagavatam, and the other is a pure devotee absorbed in the mellows of love and devotion. Text 100. Doi Bhagavata Dvara Diya Bhakti Rasa Tanhara Hirdaya Tanra Premehaya Bhasha. Through the actions of these two Bhagavatas, the Lord instills the mellows of transcendental love and service into the heart of a living being. And thus the Lord, in the heart of his devotee, comes under the control of the devotee's love. Text 101. Text 101. Eka adbhuta samakale tunghara prakasha. Ara adbhuta chita guhara tamaha karinasha. The first wonder is that both brothers appear simultaneously, and the other is that they illuminate the innermost depths of the heart. Text 102. E Chandra Surya Dui Parama Sadaya Jagatera Bhakya Gaude Karila Udaya. These two, the sun and moon, are very kind to the people of the world. Thus, for the good fortune of all, they have appeared on the horizon of Bengal. Srila Prabhupada is giving a purport on this verse. What is the purport? The celebrated ancient capital of the Sena dynasty, which was known as Gaudesha or Gauda, was situated in what is now the modern district of Malda. Later, this capital was transferred to the ninth or central island on the western side of the Ganges at Navadvipa, which is now known as Mayapur and was then called Gaudapura. Lord Chaitanya appeared there, and Lord Nityananda came there and joined him from the district of Birbhum. They appeared on the horizon of Gaudadesha to spread the signs of Krishna consciousness. And it is predicted that as the sun and moon gradually move west, the movement they began 500 years ago will come to the Western civilizations by their mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu drive away the 5 kinds of ignorance of the conditioned souls. In the Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva, 43rd chapter, these 5 kinds of ignorance are described. Let's read them. They are, number 1, accepting the body to be the self. Number 2, making material sense gratification one's standard of enjoyment. Number 3, being anxious due to material identification. Number 4, lamenting. And number 5, thinking that there is anything beyond the absolute truth. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya eradicate these 5 kinds of ignorance. Whatever one sees or otherwise experiences, one should know to be simply an exhibition of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of Godhead's energy. Everything is a manifestation of Krishna. And we were talking about this. Actually, Sudarshan Prabhu and Shileka Didi were discussing about this last Friday. A guest came and he asked a question on art. What is the Vaishnava perspective on art? And we came to the conclusion that even the most beautiful pieces of art of all the history of humanity, the most wonderful pieces of art, they're just a tiny, tiny manifestation of the Lord's energy. And that anything that we want to materially manifest as beauty through art, it should be offered to Him. And we should remember that it's coming from Him. And it's such a beautiful, poetic way to describe Lord Chaitanya, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu as the sun and the moon. Just like the sun and the moon, they reveal the objects of the world through their light. In the same way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda are revealing our inner nature and destroying the ignorance And it's so cool also that Srila Prabhupada said that they appeared on the horizon of Gauda Desha to spread the science of Krishna consciousness. And it is predicted that as the sun and moon gradually move west, the movement they began 500 years ago will come to the Western civilizations by their mercy. And indeed it happened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu drive away the 5 kinds of ignorance of the conditioned souls. So next time someone asks us, what are the 5 types of ignorance? We must remember that it was described in the Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva, 43rd chapter, and they are: number 1, accepting the body to be the self. That is the first type of ignorance. Number 2, making material sense gratification one's standard of enjoyment. Number 3, being anxious due to material identification. Number 4, lamenting. Number 5, thinking that there is anything beyond the absolute truth. Those are the 5 types of ignorance of the conditioned souls. And Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda came to illuminate the conditioned souls and destroy with that ignorance. Haribol. Text 103. Say dui prabhura kari charana bandhan. Hello. We're back. The mixer is having some problem. It turns off automatically, and it's because of the wire. So that's why sometimes we need to go and fix it and then come back. Text 103. Say dui prabhura kari charana bandhana yanghahab ite bigna nasha avishta purana. Let us therefore worship the holy feet of these 2 lords. Thus, one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. Jaya Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai, Adi Lila Volume 1 ki Jai, Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Jai Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. We're full of ignorance, full of addictions, full of misconceptions, full of darkness. And without taking shelter on Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, and his associates, well, how can we awaken our true nature? It is impossible. Centenary Anthology, Pastimes, Glories, and Teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti-Raka Srila Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Yesterday we read the foreword given by Shripad Srila Pavam Janardhan Maharaj. He was illuminating the exclusive line of Srila Saraswati Thakur. We understood who Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, especially what was his relationship with his disciple, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and how he transferred the position of Acharya to Srila Guru Maharaj in such a mysterious way. We have heard that story many times. And how Srila Sridhar Maharaj carried all the Siddhanta coming from the line of Sriman Mahaprabhu. And then how Srila Govinda Maharaj was so dear to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and how much effort and energy Srila Guru Maharaj put into preparing Srila Govinda Maharaj to be the next Acharya, giving him his realizations, his deities, everything to him. And now we have came to the shelter of Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and here we are. praying that we're with them and they don't leave us behind. Now we're going to read the introduction of Centenary Anthology given by Srila Govinda Maharaj. And the name of the introduction is This Extremely Auspicious Day, a Sri Vyasa Puja Address. Srila Guru Maharaj preached very successfully all over India. His preaching satisfied Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Everyone had a special respect for Srila Guru Maharaj, and this was shown by their actions. Srila Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj took sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj, even though Srila Guru Maharaj was junior to him in the mission. Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj was also senior to Srila Guru Maharaj, and he was a very exalted brahmachari of the Sampradaya. But he took sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj. Such advanced, intelligent personalities knew the prospect and conception of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his Sampradaya. Like these examples, many great devotees of Srila Saraswati Thakur wanted to take sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj. But Srila Guru Maharaj did not give it easily. They wanted to take, but I saw that often they were afraid to ask him. In Vrindavan, in perhaps the 1950s, I saw two disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur who wanted to take sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj. But they could not approach him. And lastly, they went to Srila Goswami Maharaj. Srila Goswami Maharaj then asked Srila Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, shall I give sannyas to them? Srila Guru Maharaj had much respect for Srila Goswami Maharaj and replied, Yes. Why are you asking me? But it is a fact that those devotees could not ask it from Srila Guru Maharaj. Many wanted to take sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj, but could not come to him directly. That was the position of Srila Guru Maharaj. There was a very dear disciple of Srila Saraswati Thakur who lived in the same room with Srila Saraswati Thakur and received much affection from him. His name was Mahananda Brahmachari. He saw that lastly he came to Srila Guru Maharaj and said, Maharaj, I want to take sannyas from you. Please give me sannyas. Srila Guru Maharaj gave it very happily and his name became Srila Bhakti Alok Paramahamsa Maharaj. There were many other disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur, including Srila Bhakti Dayita Madhava Maharaj, who wanted to take sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj. Having some idea about their sampradaya going in the line of Sri Rupa Anuga, they all came to Srila Guru Maharaj. Srila Saraswati Thakur expressed this through the highest song of our sampradaya, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. He wanted to hear that song from Srila Guru Maharaj, not from others. This story is famous. If we need Ganges water, we must go to the Ganges. Similarly, it is necessary that if we want the conception given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well as Srila Saraswati Thakur, we must come to Srila Siradev Goswami Maharaj. This was also the expression of all the devotees of Srila Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. We saw that Srila Guru Maharaj would yearly go once or twice to Srila Madhava Maharaj Mat, and once or more to Srila Goswami Maharaj Mat. At that time there were strong party feelings amongst many devotees, but many of Srila Guru Maharaj got brothers from other camps, including the secretaries and stalwarts from all parties, came to Sri Srila Guru Maharaj. Every year on the appearance day of Srila Goswami Maharaj, he invited Srila Guru Maharaj to his mat. For his respect, Srila Guru Maharaj went there each year. However, one year Srila Guru Maharaj couldn't go because he was showing very poor health. Srila Goswami Maharaj's expression was, This year Srila Sridhar Maharaj cannot come. Every year he comes and blesses me with a further year of life. And by this blessing I am existing. Now, I am thinking that next year I shall not be able to accept the puja of my disciples. Such were the exalted feelings of Srila Goswami Maharaj. And it happened that Srila Goswami Maharaj disappeared that year and so was unable to attend his own next Guru Puja day. Srila Goswami Maharaj, by the way, is Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So, in this introduction, we're hearing from Srila Govinda Maharaj, the pastimes of Srila Guru Maharaj, and his relationship with Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. So, for those who haven't heard these pastimes before, and were not aware of how close Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Govinda Maharaj were, they have the chance now. By the mercy of the disciples of Srila Guru Maharaj and Guru Maharaj himself. And of course, Srila Govinda Maharaj. At the time when the Gaudiya Math was divided, devotees would generally not visit devotees of any other camp. But when Srila Guru Maharaj would go to Srila Madhava Maharaj's mat, even the General Secretary of the Gaudiya Math would come and meet with Srila Guru Maharaj. One day Srila Guru Maharaj asked Shripat Supati Ranjanak Prabhu, the General Secretary of the Gaudiya Math, Prabhu, why do you come to see me every time I come here? And Supati Vabu replied in a very nice way, your nature attracts us. Your disinterested nature, a strong common sense, and deep intelligence. These three things attract us. Therefore, I am coming to see you, and I am feeling so fortunate that still this kind of man is living within our sampradaya. In the scriptures, it is said, Acharya mam bijatniyam navamananyeta karhichit namartya buddhya suyeta sarvadeva maya guruhu. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11th. That kind of guru we have got. His mercy, his association, his associates association, his friends association, his God brothers association we have got. In that way we can say we're very fortunate that Srila Guru Maharaj bestowed his mercy upon us. But if we cannot worship him in a proper way and cannot respect him properly, then we will go to hell. Actually, these are the words of Srila Govinda Maharaj, of Srila Gurudev. You see, in the scriptures it is said, Acharya mam bijani yat. Bhagavan himself, in the form of the Acharya, appears in this mundane world to bestow his mercy to the sincere seekers. Navam nitakar hichit. Navamanyeta karhichit. Don't think anything about the Guru except that he is not different from Krishna. Then again Krishna says, Namartya buddhya suyeta. Don't consider, I'm going to read that again. Then again Krishna says, Namartya buddhya suyeta. Don't consider him as a mundane man. He may appear in the form of a mundane body, but he's not a mundane. You must consider him as myself. Sarvadeva Maya Guruhu. All the devas are living within his body. This kind of conception you must carry. Otherwise you cannot worship him properly. Respectful obedience is necessary for the Guru. The fully surrendered soul will get full mercy from his Guru. Guru has many forms, and one who is a Paramahamsa sees everyone as a Guru, as his Guru. We must try to consider the Mahanta Guru, Chaitanya Guru, and Shiksha Guru in a different way. But we cannot always understand the signal of the Chaitya Guru. Our mind lives in the mundane idea. Therefore, we cannot always say that what our mind says is coming from Krishna. Sometimes for one who is a very fortunate soul, he will receive instruction from his Chaitya Guru. but Krishna represents himself in the form of the Mahanta and Shiksha Gurus for our direct guidance. In which way can we understand? Krishna's tu Bhagavan is Vayam. Srimad Bhagavatam said, Ete cham shakala pumsha Krishna's tu Bhagavam Svayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mrindayanti Yuga Yuga. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if we try to worship those who are really devoted to Krishna, then our worship must go directly to Krishna. This is the proper channel. We cannot serve Krishna directly, but through Guru and Vaishnava, our service can go to Krishna. We cannot see Krishna, but through a lens we can see Him. Otherwise not. There are so many planets in the sky, and they exist both by day and by night. But how many can we see? We can see them only by looking through a telescope, and that is made by lenses set one after another. This is the process, and in the spiritual life, this is called the Guru Parampara. It is coming down by the mercy of Krishna, and Krishna himself appears in the form of a human body, or any other kind of form. But when he is very merciful, we can understand his glories. Krishna yadi kripa konna bhagya bane, gurantaryame rupe shikaya apane. It is depending upon fortune, and that fortune comes through the service to Guru and the Vaishnavas. When we get such transcendental sukriti, through that we get the connection of Guru. The Guru's position is so high. Srila Guru Maharaj used the expression, heavier than the Himalayas. One who is fully dedicated to his Guru will get everything. Etat sarvam gurau bhaktya purusho hyanjayas sa jayet. He can conquer and get everything by the mercy of Guru. Before, in the Vedic age, we can see that the students will go to the Guru's house and the Guru will engage them. This occurred also in the example of Krishna and Sudama. They were instructed, go to the jungle and bring some firewood, go there. They were ordered to do many things, do this, do that. Do this, do that. When disciples successfully carry out the order of their Guru and satisfy him, the Guru gives his blessings and they get all the transcendental knowledge, thus becoming all-rounders in spiritual life. In this present age, also we have seen this kind of mercy in many cases. So it is necessary to fully surrender to Guru and carry out his order. But if we think that Guru is mundane, then we will go to hell and not get anything of transcendental knowledge. Krishna consciousness is so high, and there is a special line of Guru. But even in an ordinary way, we shall not get that conception of Vedic knowledge without their grace. Today is a very auspicious day that Srila Guru Maharaj, the bearer of that high conception of Krishna consciousness, Madhura Rasa, on this day appeared to bestow his mercy upon us. This is an extremely auspicious day for us. He showed his appearance on the same day as Nityananda Prabhu's son. Nityananda Prabhu's glories were chanted by Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Premematta Nityananda Kripa Avatara Uttamadama Kichu Nakare Vichara Yage Paraye Tare Karaye Nistara Ataeva Nistarila Mohena Durachara. Because he is intoxicated by ecstatic love, Sri Gauranga is an incarnation of the ocean of mercy. He does not distinguish between the good and the bad. He delivers all those who fall down before him. Therefore, he has delivered such a sinful and fallen person as me. I have no qualification, but Nityananda Prabhu is so merciful that whoever goes to him receives his mercy. I have no qualification except that I approached him. There is no cause. It is causeless mercy. Srila Guru Maharaj said many times that the mercy is above justice. Justice searches qualification, but mercy does not search for qualification, but only dedication. The word dedication is very easy to say, but Krishna showed in which way the strength of dedication comes down into this mundane world. Krishna said, Sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam sharanam braja ahadvam sarva papevyo moksha yishyami ma suchaha. This is a famous verse in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. Don't worry, but you dedicate yourself to me fully. Non-religion must be ignored, but also do not be involved with religion. Leave that. Leave everything. Leave whatever you think is good for you as well as whatever you think is bad for you. Leave everything and dedicate yourself fully to me. That is the advice of Krishna himself. Sarva dharmam parityaya mamekam. I am the only person who can give you relief from everything. What kind of mood of dedication is required? Mamekam sharanam braja. You will see only the fully dedicated mood of Brajatam. Krishna said there is nothing more necessary than this. This is final. He then asked Arjuna, now have you settled your position? Arjuna replied, yes. Whatever you say, I shall do that. Dedication. Full dedication we can see in Brajadam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, Aradhyo Bhagavam Brajeshatana Yastadhamma Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Brajabadhu Bhargina Yakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanan Amalam Prema Bhumato Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matam Idam Tatrattaro Na Paraha. It is the conclusive opinion of Lord Chaitanya that Sri Krishna, who is Brajendra Nandana, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, the topmost worshipable Supreme, the topmost worshipable Supreme. Vrindavan Dham, which is an expansion of Krishna and is none different from him, is the highest worshipable abode. The gopis are the highest example of the worship of Sri Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless evidence for knowing the absolute truth. Krishna Prema is the fifth and highest goal of life. These are the teachings of Sri Chaitanya in a nutshell. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and our whole mood of worship must go to Him. Like the Ganges going to the ocean, when a devotee hears the glories of Krishna, his mind also goes like the Ganges to the ocean. Why? Because Krishna lives in everyone's heart, but full dedication is necessary. The Guru's mercy is supreme everywhere. Without His mercy, we cannot do anything. If we think that Guru is mundane, then we must be faulty. Of these there is no doubt. So we must be careful. There are 10 kinds of nama parad. The third kind is gurva vagya. You cannot ignore the directives and the lotus feet of your Gurudev. You must dedicate yourself there fully. His order is the order of all the scriptures. Tat agya gurunam hi abhicharniya. You must not consider whether it is right or whether it is wrong. But whatever the Guru will say, you must do that without hesitation. Tat agya gurunam hi abhicharaniya. There are many varieties of expressions in the scriptures glorifying Srila Gurudev. That Gurudev appeared on this day near to the Navadvip, showing his form in Apaniya. By his mercy we have arranged there in a temple the service of the deity and Srila Guru Maharaj for the remembrance of his appearance. We shall also go there for a festival of his glorification. And this is the month of Kartika, and we're going to celebrate the I'm not sure it's the appearance of this appearance day of Srila Sira Maharaj, our Srila Guru Maharaj. Today is Srila Guru Maharaj's appearance day, and this is the highest auspicious day for the conditioned souls. I am praying to Srila Guru Maharaj. He is always merciful to us, no doubt, but more strength is necessary to fight with the Maya, the illusion. If illusion will manifest, such as in the case of taking the form of Bibisan, that is particularly dangerous. Such type of illusion is possible. Even Hanuman himself was also charmed by the illusion of Mahiravan. The story is that Ravan was defeated in many ways by Ramachandra, that he called his son Mahiravan, who was living down in Patala, the lower part of these worlds. Mahiravan had much power. He could go anywhere and in any way. He went to Ravan and said, "Father, what happened? I see that Lanka is massacred." Ravan replied, "Ram and Lakshman have destroyed everything, but we cannot compete with them. They are destroying, but we cannot kill them." Mahiravan then said, "This is a small matter. I shall arrange it nicely." Mahiravan had much power of illusion through the worship of the goddess Kali. He arranged to steal Ram and Lakshman with the intention of taking them to his own country to kill them as an offering in front of Mother Kali. Bibisan was in the company of Ram and Lakshman, and he knew of the illusory power of Mahiravan. When he heard Mahiravan had come to Lanka, Bibisan made everyone conscious of Mahiravan's danger. "He can make illusion at any moment, so you must be careful." Hanuman said, "Yes, I shall make a big fort with my tail. Everyone can stay there, including Ram and Lakshman. No one will be able to enter within that fort, so Mahiravan will not be able to enter. I shall stand guard at the gate. Also Bibisan can guard the wall of the fort, so no problem will come." They did this, and Hanuman remained at the gate, so none could enter the tail-made fort. Bibisan guarded the fort wall. It took him a little time to walk all around the wall of the fort, perhaps half an hour. He will periodically come back to consult with Hanuman. "Has anyone come here?" One time Hanuman said, "Yes, Janag-Raja, the father of Sita, came. He wanted to enter within the fort. I asked him to wait here for Bibisan, and if he gives permission, he might then enter." In this way, Mahiravan took on several forms such as Janag-Raja, Dasharat, and Kaushalya with the desire of entering that fort. In each case, Hanuman asked them to wait, but they went away. Lastly, Mahiravan took the form of Bibisan. One time after consulting with Hanuman, Bibisan went away, but within a short time, perhaps 10 minutes, he again came before Hanuman. This time he was not the real Bibisan, but Mahiravan. Hanuman commented, "Oh, you have torn the walls very quickly this time." Bibisan replied, "No, actually I forgot that I wanted to give a kavach to Ram and Lakshman, and it would be very nice for them. Therefore I came back and didn't complete the tour of the wall." Hanuman thought it was the real Bibisan, so he said, "Yes, you can go inside, no problem." Mahiravan went inside and made an illusion whereby everyone went to sleep. He took Ram and Lakshman, made a hole, and went to Patala. After some time, the real Bibisan came back. When Hanuman saw him, he challenged, "Who are you? You went 10 minutes ago inside the fort, so who are you?" Then Bibisan replied, "Yes, I am Bibisan, your friend." "No, Bibisan already entered within the fort. You're not him." Then Bibisan struck his forehead and said, "Oh, in my form Mahiravan must have come and entered within the cave." Hanuman didn't believe him and took his hand. "Come with me. We shall go inside." Within they saw a big hole, and they saw that Ram and Lakshman had been stolen by Mahiravan. So, if like taking the form of Bibhishan, a strong illusion will attack us, we do not see any way except to the protection of our preceptor and protector, Sri Gurudev. If we have full faith in our Gurudev and are fully surrendered to our Gurudev, we must get transcendental strength. And in that way we can remove all illusion by His grace. So, it is necessary to have a strong faith in Gurudev and to surrender fully to His divine lotus feet. Then we shall get everything. We can appeal today to the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj for that kind of strength. We are fallen souls and very conditioned souls trying to proceed to our destination. But we cannot proceed properly because we are within the illusory environment. By His mercy we can proceed, but the destination is so far from us. So may He mercifully bestow more and more mercy upon us. This is my prayer on this day to Srila Guru Maharaj and to his dear associates and to all of you. This year we have a special opportunity for the disciples of Srila Guru Maharaj, as well as his devotional family, to serve His divine grace with glorification, offerings and services of many types for His divine mission. The deities and devotees. I believe it must be successful by His divine grace. Side by side, it is my special prayer to you all that you give your mercy to me so that I can serve Srila Guru Maharaj properly. This is my earnest prayer this day. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Centenary Anthology, Pastimes, Glories and Teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakar Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Now we're going to chant Hari Haraya, Nama Sankirtan, and we will conclude this morning's readings. But before we do so, we're just going to quickly recap the morning readings of today. We read the Chaitanya Charitamrta Adi Lila Volume 1, where Srila Prabhupada was illuminating and revealing the meanings of these verses that Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj was quoting from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the illumination is to have a proper conception of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, that they have came here to destroy the ignorance that lives within our hearts and to awaken this inner desire for fulfillment, for true fulfillment. Just like the sun and the moon, they reveal the objects of the world. In the same way, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu have came to reveal our true nature. And we read Centenary Anthology, the Pastimes, Glories and Teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakar Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj. We were reading the introduction of this book given by Srila Govinda Maharaj. And we were discovering the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Guru Maharaj. And we were also reading about the importance of taking shelter on Gurudev. Without him, without following his instructions, the illusory environment is going to get us. The illusionary environment meaning our own consciousness of misidentifying reality. Jai Srila Govinda Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakar Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Hari Haraye Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Rama Shimadusudana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatana Vata Raghunata Shri Jiva Gopalavata Dasa Raghunata Echai Gosai Kori Charanavandana Jaha Hoite Vignana Shavishta Purana Echai Gosai Jara Muitarada Satasavara Padarenu Mora Panchagrasa Tadiracharana Sevi Vaktasanivasa Janname Mora Eya Vilasha Echai Gosai Jave Vraje Koilavasha Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Anande Buluhari Vajavrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Parema Jai Jamana Shri Guru Vaishnava Para Padma Koriya Shahari Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Dasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Srila Bhakti Raka Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Nuguru Varga Ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Krishna Ki Jai. Jai Kolkartos Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Wo. Dandavat Bhima Krishna Prabhu and all the devotees that heard the divine words of our gurus this morning. Thank you for your service. Haribo, appreciate, is very much appreciated. Dandavat.